Hello everybody, welcome. It's Pip here from queenbitcards.com and the Card Making Know-How Academy. Welcome to my new Make It With Me Monday. This is going to come out probably every third Monday of the month, just depending on what I've got on. And it's about making stuff together. So hopefully some people are here. Hello Val, Val's arrived, that's good, lovely to see you Val. So I'm going to go hands down. We're going to talk about the kit. Oh, look, everyone's coming on. Rosie's on, Sally's on. Hello. Hello, everybody. Excellent. Good. Let me put some light on the subject there. So, basically, I just thought we don't chat enough often anymore because I only do one a month, really, talking about the stuff that we're doing in the membership, which I do on the first Monday of every month. So I thought, you know what? Let's do and Make It With Me. So this is the Beautiful Blues kit. So we're going to make this together. Here is the said kit. This one includes a stamp set and it has everything in it that you need, basically. Even the glues, it's got everything in it. So if we pull this out, I'm just going to undo this. It's all packaged well together so it doesn't go and get damaged in the thing. Hi Ange. Central Victoria. Lovely. You guys been alright over there? I don't know, there's been so many things happening around the world. It's hard to keep track of all the weather events and everything else that's been going on. So here we've got some lovely gems, which are nice, as well as your Stampin' Dimensionals in here. And then they might even have blue dots, I'm not sure. No, it looks like it's just dimensionals for this lot. Okay, sometimes they have glue dots as well. So we have our gems, we have our little stamp set. Now this stamp set is based on a sympathy theme. So sending love, you're in my thoughts, and then this one says sending you comfort. Or wishing you comfort, there we go. And it's got like a little leaf pattern, but we don't have to use it for sympathy. If you have another stamp set at home, then you can use, you know, whatever words you want to. It also comes with some tape, some tear and tape, and your block, which is what you're going to use to put your stamps on. Okay, and then we have in here the gorgeous envelopes. Look at these, aren't they beautiful? They're all the same, but aren't they lovely? Just white on the inside, and then this beautiful envelope flap, so that when you close it up, that's what's going to go. You know, they're going to get it addressed, and then they're going to turn it over to open it, and it's going to look like that. Isn't that lovely? Love a good envelope, me. Okay, and then we have all these pieces that are in here, which include obviously the card bases and all the other elements that we might need. And then at the back, you get some instructions. Oh. Here we go. So we've got a little stamp set piece here that you can put in. So if you decide that you want to put these into a stamping case, where's an empty stamp case? Have I got one? I don't have one right to hand. But basically just a normal stamp set case. You can buy them blank, you can buy them empty, and then you can put your own insert in, so you just cut off the ones where it's not, because it comes in different languages, so just chop that off, whichever language you've got, put that in, and then you know what stamp set you've got in that stamp case. So that's a handy addition that they're now doing. And then basically this tells you how to walk through step by step each one of these to get to the 3 beautiful designs. So we're going to be doing the 3 beautiful designs today. I've got a few other bits and pieces. I've got a few other words that I'm going to just pull out, just because if you did want to change up the words, I'm just going to show you how you can change up the words based on, you know, what you've got, if any of these fit. I don't know if any of them fit. That's what you would do at home. You just grab your stamps and see if any of them fitted. So that's what we're going to do. Hi Marcy, lovely to see you this morning. Oh, look. Oh, now that you've had droughts, Rose. Oh, that's not good. Yes, Sally's off. Sally's going to see you. She's going to... Oh, look at that. Darwin, Perth, Red Centre, Adelaide, Canberra and Sydney. Wow, you really are going all over the place. Excellent. Okay, so we've got all of these pieces, some beautiful pop-out die cut pieces here, and some layers. Look at those, they're lovely. And then we have some labels, and then we have our card bases. Okay, so we have 3 each of these in those, 3 each in these. Oh, look at those, they're gorgeous. And 3 each in these. Okay, so we'll start with the beginning, and then we'll move on from there, and we will go through the mates. Now, who's got this kit with you? Who's actually going to make with me whilst we're stamping away together today? Anybody going to make with me? That's the whole premise of the thing. So next month, I've literally just ordered, or I'm about to order for next month, the brand new, what's it called? It is called, let me go and find it. I'll show it to you. I think I can show it to you. Maybe I can, I don't know. I'll tell you what it is anyway. It's a brand new kit that's come out. Pop-up pals or something like that. Let me go and have a look. It's basically a little kit that has pop-up pals kit. There we go. So it only makes 4 cards, 1 each of each design, but they're pop-up cards, so they all have things that pop up in the middle. It looks great. So we'll be doing that next month. So if you've ever wanted to make some pop-up cards, next month come along and bring the bring your kit with you, and then we can do it together. And you can order through me at queenpipcards.com/store, or actually you can also do /just kits. So if you just change store to kits, it'll take you straight to my kit collection, so you can grab those. Okay, so following along on the instructions, we are going to open up the card, and we're going to stamp on the inside. That's nice. Don't normally do a bit of inside stamping. So we're going to take the big floral leaf piece. Now I'm just going to use all my blocks because it's just easier, but they do fit on the I like to keep my blocks for sending stuff over. And then You're in My Thoughts. I could do this one. You're in My Thoughts is good for anything, really. It could be a happy You're in My Thoughts. Doesn't have to be a sad You're in My Thoughts. So we'll do a You're in My Thoughts because you've been so amazing, or some such. Okay, and then this is your little ink spot, and you would just take this off here and here, open it up, and it's an ink spot. Again, I like to keep mine for various things, so I'm going to grab my Nye of Navy, which I just re-inked the other day. So stamping, let's talk stamping. Okay, we're going to tap, 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 so we cover our entire, you can see it better on this, so our entire piece of foliage. Okay, and then you're going to just stamp down once, hold it, and then release. Okay, and that gives you a perfect stamp every time. So if you're new to stamping, a kit is a great way to try it out, and if you're not sure, you can try it out on the piece of cardboard that comes in every box. Rose says this kit is on her wish list. Ah, well, definitely. You're going to need to get it after today for sure. Okay, so that's that. So we've stamped that on the inside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the die cut piece that goes with this one, which is, she says, if she can find it again. Okay. So the die cut that goes with this one is this. Okay. I'm just going to pop these gently. I always say do it gently because they are quite, like, really delicate, some of them. You don't want to be ripping off any of those pieces as you pop them out. So just delicately lift them off. And there's like a little tag attached to them that you can just feel just gives, and then that's it. Comes out. There we go. So that's that piece. And then we need one of our labels. and it's going to be the small label because it's going to mat over the top of this piece here. Oh, Marcy says she's got it, but she's at work. Oh no! Oh, you can't make it with me over your... Oh, I suppose you're at morning. You won't tell anyone you're watching, Marcy. Keep it quiet. Okay. Now, is that going to fit in there? That doesn't look like that's going to fit in there. Let me have a look at these instructions. That does not look like that's going to fit at all. I think it's the other one. I think it's the longer one. Okay, that would make more sense. And actually looking at how much it takes over, yes, it does. It's not, it doesn't fit exactly over that. That's its backing piece that it attaches to. Okay, but that's more like it. There we go. And you can tell because it matches the picture better. Okay. So if you're in any doubt, go back and have a look at the picture. Okay, so do not stamp. Let's not stamp when you've got something underneath it, because then it won't be very flat. It does remind me of Delft too, yes. Now I'm going to bring this down a little bit so I can get my head over it. It's always best to look down rather than at an angle. Line yourself up and then again straight down, tap, and then pull off. There we go. You're in my thoughts. And that is straight. Marvellous. Okay, so now it says that we put a bit of tape on the back of this piece. Okay. So you find your end, and this is tear and tape, so you can just tear. Put that down there. I'm going to put a couple of bits on because that's just me. It says only one piece, but I haven't done it evenly, so it's going to get two. If it runs out, I'll have to grab some more. And we do tear and tape, so you can get that. Now, the only thing I always recommend for anybody buying a kit is that you add on... Oh, I've lost my end. Where's my end gone? Oh, look, I've left it back in there. Got stuck in the thingy. You get you add on your Take Your Pick tool. Because your Take Your Pick tool is just brilliant for so many things. One, it helps you get the tape off. Okay, if you can't get it off with your fingers, I probably can with my nails, but I know lots of you can't, so I'd like to show you how it works. Okay, so we've got that. And then that is going to go and sit on just about here-ish. Just going to cover up that central flower a little bit according to the instructions. There we go. Make sure that's straight. Yep, that's not bad. And then on the back of the stamped piece, you're going to add some dimensionals. Again, I've got my pack open. I do use all of the stuff from the kit because, you know, they're just dimensionals. So I'll just shove them in my box and have them when I go. I normally use them for when I'm going away or going out, crafting out, you know. Okay. And then that adds a bit of lift. And then you can just position this straight on top of that. Just, there we go. I always have to hold it up because I've got astigmatism, so just make sure it's straight. And then if you've got your gems, which is obviously what we're going to add on next, then you can use your Take Your Pick tool the other end. So hide your pokey bit so you don't stick yourself in the eye. And then use this other end, which is kind of tacky, and you're going to just pop a couple of these on. And we've got a couple over here. And again, if you don't know where to put them, you can just literally follow what it says on the diagram. And there's our first one made. So pretty, isn't it? But see, you could swap that sentiment out for anything that you had. But I like this little dark touch behind because it's sort of there but not quite. But because you haven't glued these down, they kind of move with the card, which is lovely. And then inside, you've popped a little stamp of some leaves, which is lovely. So there we go. That is card number 1 done. So simple. So simple, so easy. Okay. Next up, card number 2. So this is the one that is all floral all over. And this is a landscape card. So this is portrait with this blue floral pattern here already on it on the sort of right hand bottom side, with just the little dark foliage pieces added on, and then the sentiment right on top of the foliage pieces and sort of covering up some of those roses, which I always think is a bit of a shame, but it is the right place for it to be. And then this one has got the pattern on both sides, so technically, and for those girls who are feeling particularly frugal, you could cut this in half and make 2 cards if you had card bases. Okay, but, and it's a big but, only if you live in North America and use letter size cardstock. If you don't have letter size cardstock, this will not fit properly onto a UK or any Australian A4 card base. Okay, and I'll show you why. On the card. Any normal card will do. I've got a normal card on the way. Here's a very, very simple card base. Okay, normal size. Okay, normal card. You put it on there. Can you see it's not the same size? So it's too wide for us, and it's too short. So you could get away with chopping that off, but then you'd have to cut off some of this lovely, either the blue or whatever. So you have to really chop it down to get on. You could layer it, so you could turn it into a layer, but again, it's not exactly the same layer. It's more like the second layer, so you'd have to really cut a big piece off to make it look nice on one of our card bases. So that's just something to remember. Okay. So if you're in North America, however, then you'll use your letter size cardstock, which is just half a sheet folded in half, and that will fit on perfectly. Okay, I digress. So now on this one, we're going to use the opposite. So we're going to use the white detailed element here. So this is again a little bit of foliage, some leaves, die cut in white. And if you get stuck with all this stuff about card sizing and layering and all that, come and join my card making know-how foundation course. You know, especially if you don't fancy joining the academy, that's fine. I understand some people, you know, don't really want to do all of that straight away. So that way around. Here's the front. There we go. So you can just join the foundations course and learn all the things there is to know about foundations of card making. So what kind of card to use, what papers are, you know, how to get good types of paper to use for card making, what all the different types are, all the glues, the tools, the essentials, everything that you need for card making, and what you really don't need to worry about straight away, along with card sizing, cutting, layering, all that stuff, and how to use paper on your card designs. So yeah, I know. Sally says, I do wish these sizes were universal, and Rose says it would solve a lot of headaches if the sizes were the same. Yes, absolutely, it really would. But you know, when you get stuck, you can come along to my foundation course and you will get all the details. If you join the academy, it's exactly this, that you get all of those details too in there. But if you just want to do the foundations and don't want to learn any of the other techniques, then you can just do the foundation course. It's open now, so the link is in the description below. Okay, so we've got our piece, got our little white piece, and this says, wishing you comfort. I don't know that I've got a lot of people I'm going to say that to, so this is where I'm going to try out another stamp set and see if we can't change that up a little bit. Now, the size of the label for this one is this one. It's quite a big label, so I bet we can put on some good other options on that. So let's have a look. So I've got somewhere. Got a big thanks, but it doesn't. Maybe. I've got quite a lot of things here. I've got celebrate, make all your wishes come true. Best of luck. Hello. Just for you, and happy birthday. I bet the happy birthday would fit on there. Let's just see. That's the good thing about the see-through stamps. You can check. Look at that. Happy birthday fits on there perfectly. So we will swap it out and we will pop in a happy birthday. There we go. And that's the great thing about card making. You know, you can just change things up. Hey, Paula's on. Morning. It's all good. You've just arrived at work. Oh, I wish I was home. I have this kit. Wish I could craft along with you. Well, on replay, you can craft along with me, Paula. I wish everyone a wonderful day. Oh, Rose is talking about converting fun folds. Yeah, I was talking about just that very thing at our Stampin' Chat class on Saturday. Because this month and next month is all about fun and fancy folds in the membership, in the academy. And I was saying I do love fancy folds until I have to convert them from one to the other. And obviously, because in my membership everything's on both sizes, so it works for everybody around the world. And yeah, I was saying that that's the bit I hate about making fun folds, is the conversion. It'd be so much easier if everyone did, you know. But I have people who just don't work in inches, so I need to make sure that they are okay. So I make sure that everything we do is in both metric and in imperial, but based on imperial for a letter size piece of card rather than for an A4, and then it's metric for an A4. So it causes me the headaches so that the girls in my membership don't have to have those headaches themselves. Okay, so there we go. So I've popped that on now. I've put the gluey stuff, tape on the back of that. That's going to sit sort of here-ish on the card, like so. Just make sure that's gone straight. Okay, and then I've just stamped the happy birthday in the Night of Navy again, and we'll pop some dimensionals on the back of that, or any foam pads. I just call them dimensionals because that's what they're called by Stampin' Up. But you know, if you've got other foam pads, you can use those too. Although I do think our foam pads are the best, because they're just a nice depth more than anything else. They're just a nice depth and a nice shape. So they work well with circles, they work well with squares. And yeah, it's just a nice, they're just nice. I don't know how else to say it really. They just work well. That's not straight. There we go. That's straight. Okay. And then again, we're going to come in with some gems. And we'll put that on there so I don't stab myself. And then we'll take these out here and we'll do some gems. And again, I'm just following the instructions which come in the kit. You can, of course, make up your mind and do them in different places. I would just say, you know, just be careful. If you go wild on one card, you might not have enough for the whole kit. Funny, see, now Val's just said, could you add some Wink of Stella to the flowers? You could add some Wink of Stella to the flowers. And when I do... I was going to come back and do another card and show you how you could change it up, because we're talking about embellishments now. But yes, we can do some Wink of Stella straight away if we want to. So Wink of Stella is just a glitter pen, basically. But it's got a brush tip to it. So it's a nice brush rather than a hard pen. And therefore you can brush across things. Like so. And it's very subtle. It's not in your face glitter. So we'll do this one, and it'll be quite subtle. In fact, you may not even see it. I just need to give that a good shake. Hold on. I don't want to squeeze it too much. Let's see how we're doing. There we go. Oh, lots coming out now. Quite as subtle as those. So if I bring this up to the camera, you might now be able to see see the shine on that? Hopefully you can see that, especially on the bottom one. Top ones. It is there, I can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. So that's Wink of Stella, which you can always add. And you can put that over as many flowers as you like, but I've just decided to do those 3. And I have to say, in real life, it really does sparkle. It's very pretty. And then I'm going to show you something else in the next card as well, which you can do. So that's that one. So then the last one that we've got to do as per the kit is this one. And if you're wondering what this thing is that I'm using here, this is a bone folder. Again, one of the essential tools I recommend. And it helps you to burnish your folds, your scores, and it gives you a really nice, sharp, crisp edge, which helps cards stand better when they stand up on the mantelpiece. So that's why you need it for that. Okay, and a lot of people go, oh, I can do without a bone folder, but honestly, the difference it makes is amazing. So now we're going to use this piece. That's lovely, isn't it? Look at that. Lovely. And we're going to carefully tape that down, and then we're going to use the final die cut piece of that they've got here. So we'll just pop that one out ready. And then we can put this all together. This is lovely. Okay, and then this you don't need. If you want to practice your stamping, you can practice on these white bits, both sides, just to practice. Otherwise, just chuck it in the recycling. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add tape to the back of this. You know it's the back because it's white. So we can do that. Now, if you prefer, you can cut it. That's fine. It's called tear and tape because you can tear it, so I'm just used to tearing it, but it's entirely up to you if you prefer cutting. And you don't need masses, you just need enough. And of course, if you prefer a wet glue and you have a wet glue at home, like a Tombow or something like that, you can use a wet glue if you prefer. But on something this tiny, I think actually tape or glue dots is probably the best because you don't want it to splush out the edge. Splurge out the edge. Splush is a technical term that I just made up. Splurge is obviously the correct term that you should be using. Oh dear. So I have to say, I am loving this kit. It is a beautiful one. And if you haven't got it yet, as I say, you can grab it from me on my store, my kits collection. So queenpiccards.com/kits. Go and grab that, or grab the pop-up one. If you're going to buy one, you might as well buy 2 and then come along and play along with us next month. Buy the Pop-Up Pals kit. And then you can do that too. So that's a fun one, especially if you've got kids, or if you've got grandkids, or if you've got nephews, nieces, whatever, or just friends who are a bit, wacky like me. The pop-up kit looks great for all of those people. Alrighty, so now I recommend you hold it by the corners that don't have the tape on it, okay? And we're going to line that up. And this is a little tricky to line up with just the tape on it. But if you try and get a corner right, the rest should, she says, follow. I've got it a little bit tighter on that side than that side, but do you know what? That looks okay to me. Alrighty, so that's that one. Now we just have to add on the element. That's going to go, where does that go? That goes this way, like so. Okay, and when that goes on, it's also going to help to hold down the back piece as well a little, if you had any trouble with that. And then we've got a little tiny label to go on this one, so you don't cover up too much of that. Let's see if I can fit thanks on this. Because if I can, I send a lot of thank you, or even hello. Actually, hello might be better. Send a lot of hello cards as well. Ooh, just. I've got a smaller hello. I've got a smaller hello. Do like a hello. I send them to all the people who join the academy. This is a smaller hello. If I can find it, there it is. Is it smaller? It's a bit more italic, so it'll fit better, I think, with the card. There we go. do that one. Okay. Put it in the middle. There we go. And then again with the night navy, bringing it down so I can stick my head in. Just add hello along there. There we go. Perfect. So, you know, you can change it up as you fancy. And then this one we will do with dimensionals. Now they recommend 4. I'm going to tell you to add an extra pack of dimensionals to your kit when you buy it, because I do not like just putting 4 on, because if it goes through the post, it's all right if you're hand delivering it, but if it goes through the post, it's going to get stuck in the machines. I'm not stuck in the machines, but it's going to get whizzed through the machines, and then they're going to flatten it, and it's going to get soggy middles, as I call it. So we don't like soggy middles, so we cover the soggy middle bit of it up with dimensionals, and then it doesn't look horrendous if it gets squished in the post, and that keeps its form nicely. So this one we're just going to lay on sort of here-ish. So that's a little spray of flowers and white elements and blue leaves and blue flowers, and we're just going to put that across sort of the middle left, diagonally across that side. And you can either add more dimensionals, but to be honest, again, thinking of the postage, you don't want it to go into large letter size. So one set of dimensionals from Stampin' Up is not a large letter in the UK, which is great. So you can get away with one set of dimensionals, but not 2. 2 will make it large letter. All right, and then we just lift the tape off at the back, take the backing off with my Take With Pick tool. There we go. And then again, position this somewhere over, kind of over the roses, sort of ish. So line it up the side. Yep. So it looks straight. There we go. And then again, we can add some gems. I would recommend adding the gems for exactly the same reason to the backing rather than on the flowers. I think they put theirs on the backing. I don't think they put them on the flowers. Yes, they did, which is very wise, because otherwise it does cause it to go into large letter. So I will put one on there, stick one down here, and stick another one. Oops. Oh, come on. I'll stick another one over here. And 3 is always a magic number. It's a great number to use. Makes it look good. Now, if you wanted to add a little extra zing to this one, you could either add some Wink Stella, or you could grab your stickles. Okay, so if you've got some silver stickles, like I have here, I thought some silver might look really nice if we just add a little bit to the ends of these white pieces. Come on. Oh, it's got stuck at the end. Hang on. Need my pin. It's the only problem with stickles is sometimes they get stuck. There we go. Let's put that up. So I just thought we could just add a little bit of silver onto these white elements. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just adding a little extra. And then we've just got a little extra sparkle going on. You can put it over the flowers again if you wanted to. Actually, I'm not sure I want it on those ones. See if I can take those off. Okay. Don't want it on the leaves, I just want it on the little flowery things. And then if you sort of smush it around a bit, it can sort of cover the whole thing. And then it's not so like I've just blobbed some blob on, if you know what I mean. There we go. And there we go. And then you have a little bit of subtle silver going on in the background, which is quite nice as well. So just add a little a little difference, but have a little bit of shine from the gems and then some shine from that silver as well. Looks pretty. So there we go. That is Make It With Me Monday. Did you like Make It With Me Monday? It hasn't taken us very long, has it? 30 minutes to do 3 cards because everything is there. Everything is how you want it. Now, it would take you a little bit longer because you'd need to clean your stamps. So to clean your stamps, I use a scrub, which is something you can get from Stampin' Up. But you can also just run them under the tap, wash them off, leave them to air dry. Don't try and use a towel or any kind of anything that's fluffy. So don't use kitchen paper, kitchen towel, paper towels. Don't use any of that. Don't use an actual physical towel or anything that's got fluff on it, because what will happen is the fluff will go to the back of the stamps and then the back of the stamps will get non-sticky and then you won't be able to use them. So just be careful with that. So just if you haven't got a scrub, just wash them under the sink, take them off, run them under the sink, clean that off, and then you will be good to go. And then you can put them back on your little piece here, if I can find out which way around they went, like so. I've only used 2 of the stamps because I wanted to show you how you could add additional elements, but you could use all of those stamps to make those 3 cards, and then you would have 3 lovely cards to give out and send, along with their beautiful envelopes. So we have this one with the die cut pieces, this one with the all over colour and beautiful elements, and then I've lost it. Here we go, the first one that we did, this one, which is all in the white. Go that way around, hopefully that will show better. There we go. So what do you think of that? It's a lovely kit, isn't it? Just so pretty, really pretty. So Val says she's certainly enjoyed making with me. Excellent, good. I'm very glad you have. I hope everyone else has too. Or if not, if you've just been watching, I hope you've been inspired and you've enjoyed this little kit. As I said, you can jump onto the store and grab it. You can either go to queenpitcards.com/store or /kits, and you will find all just the kits. But they're easy enough to find it. And if you want to get some handy hints from me, if you're brand new to card making, if you've been watching my 5-minute or so podcasty kind of little snippets every week, then you can also join my email list and get hints and tips from me every week, which you can sign up for here if you're a new card maker. queenpitcards.com/newbie, because that's what you are as a new card maker. And then if you fancy joining the membership, you can come along to cardmakingknowhow.com or just come along to queenpitcards.com and you'll find everything there too. So next month, Pop-Up Pals. Thanks, Sally said, thanks Pip, just watched. Beautiful card, says Rose. Hey, Nicole's on. Hello. Oh, you like the blue and white. I'm so glad. That's lovely. You're doing some online packing at the same time. Fair enough. Brilliant. I'm glad, Nicole, that you like that. That's great. You like the blue and white. Yes, it's so pretty, isn't it? So yes, so come along and you know, just chat with me next month, or buy the kit and make it yourself with me next month. It'll be on the 3rd Monday in July. So July already, unbelievable. Can't believe we're halfway through June already. So yes, so the 3rd Monday of July, but also come along to the 1st Monday of July, because I'll be doing another very simple fold for people, because we're talking about folds still over in the Academy. So thanks ever so much for joining in. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Take care for now. Bye bye.